But first, let's get changed. If you're like most people, you do your weekly or bi-weekly shopping to save time and to save money. Makes sense. Only to find out your salad's gone all wilted and slimy, berries have got mold on them, your fruits got all rotten, which means you're wasting a lot of food and a lot of money. Determining whether to store your produce in the fridge or outside is only half the battle. So today, there's a few things I'm going to help you with. I'll be sharing some of my tips with you. These include tips before you go shopping, how to correctly use your fridge, what fruits and veggies go in and out of the fridge, what fruits and veggies don't mix together. I'll also be including timestamps in the bar below so you can jump across to the topics you're interested in. Let's get started. So first, what you need to do is make a list of dishes you would like to eat in the coming week. If you roughly know what you're going to eat, that'll give you one less thing to think about, reducing your decision time and looking forward to that meal, like fish and chips on a Friday night. Next, what you want to do is check your cupboard and your fridge to make sure you have those ingredients and if any ingredients are running out. I found it much easier to have a running shopping list. This way, on the day of shopping, you won't forget the ingredients that ran out a few days ago. Make sure to put this list somewhere where it's easily accessible. This way, if something starts to run out, you can add it to the list. You can also create a shopping list using Google or Alexa. Alexa, add apples to my shopping list.
Apples added to your shopping list.
So next we are going to learn how to store your produce in the right way. Now that you have done your shopping, first things first, take off all the plastic packaging. Knowing whether to store your fruit and veg in or out of the fridge is only half the battle. I'll tell you why. Number of fruit and veg release a plant hormone called ethylene. It's released as a gas and basically tells the fruit or veg to start ripening. Some fruit and veg produce ethylene while others are sensitive. So these two shouldn't be stored together. There are some that neither produce ethylene nor are sensitive, like bell peppers, and they can be stored anywhere. And here are a few examples. Like apples shouldn't be stored with carrots, potatoes should not be stored with onions, and then there is produce that is not sensitive to ethylene, like bell peppers, oranges and mushrooms. They produce little or no amount of ethylene. So next time, make sure not to store your onions and potatoes together. Just for you, I've made a list of the most common fruit and veg that should not be stored together. I've added a link to the description below for you to download. Print it out and use it in your kitchen. It will help you store your produce the right way and reduce waste. Next, we are going to learn how to correctly store your fresh herbs. So not all herbs are made equal. So herbs are divided into two categories, soft herbs and hard herbs. Knowing which one's which will help you store them the right way. See, when it comes to hard herbs, use a damp paper towel to roll them up and put them loosely in a freezer bag before you put them in the fridge. This will help keep them fresh for longer, and make sure to label them. Coming to the soft herbs, take off the rubber band and any leaves that are not fresh. Next, you want to chop off a wee bit from the bottom. And instead of throwing it away, finely chop it, put it into ice trays, fill it with some water, freeze them, and next time use it in your curries. So soft herbs like coriander, parsley and dill can be put in a jar with a little bit of water at the bottom, and make sure to cover it with a bag and elastic band. And this will keep the herbs from drying out in the fridge. And make sure to recycle those jars and plastic bag every time. What you could also do is use a dry paper towel to roll it and put it in a freezer bag, but this is less effective than the previous method. Make sure to label your herbs so you know what's in the bag. That way you don't have to open the bag that often, and that will keep your herbs fresher for longer. There are also certain herbs like basil that need to be stored on the countertop rather than the fridge. When it comes to salad, you first wash them and dry them. Then you put them in a tub with a dry paper towel, and that should keep it fresher for longer. Tomatoes. There's a debate whether some people say leave it outside, some people say put it in the fridge. What I think, and after doing a lot of reading and research, if you're going to consume the tomatoes in 2 or 3 days, it's fine leaving it on the countertop. But if no, just put it in the fridge. It does affect the taste a little bit, but if it's going into some kind of stew or curry, then it doesn't really matter. It'll keep it fresher longer in the fridge. Since cucumber is mostly water, you just use a dry paper towel to wrap it up. So you store potatoes in a cool, dark place away from sunlight. And here's another tip. If you want to avoid early sprouting and if you have loads of potatoes, add an apple. It will stop the early sprouting. Make sure to put your mushrooms in a paper bag. This will absorb excess moisture and allow the mushrooms to breathe, making it last much longer. So the best way of wrapping celery is using tin foil, and this will make it last up to a month or even longer. If you don't believe me, try it out yourself. Store your lemons and limes in a freezer bag. This will keep them together and it'll keep them fresh. And same goes for ginger. You put it in a freezer bag and cut bits off as and when you need it. So there you have it, how to store the most common produce the right way in your fridge. Oh yeah, and before I forget, make sure to label and date them so you know what they are and when they are going in. So I'll put in a link below to a worksheet that will show you how to store the most common fruit and veg. So next we are going to have a look on how to organize your fridge. First things first, you empty and clean your fridge. While doing this, make sure to check the expiry dates on your condiments. You might not know this, but just like your oven, your fridge has temperature zones. The warmest part of the fridge is at the top and the coldest at the bottom. And that's why you should store perishables like dairy, meat and fish on the lower shelves. It's best to put fruit and veg in the bottom drawer because it holds more humidity than rest of the fridge, retaining moisture and keeping your food fresher for longer. See, temperature fluctuates the most at your fridge door, so keeping anything like milk and eggs at the door is not a good idea. And don't worry, even I've made the same mistake before. See, when you organize things in freezer bags, it keeps them together and you know exactly when you're running out of something. And finally, you need to make sure to reuse those freezer bags. So, when was the last time you have organized your freezer? I won't be doing a freezer organization in this video, but if you'd like me to do one, make sure to leave me a comment. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to know when the next video is up. If you'd like me to make more videos like this, make sure to leave a comment and tell me what videos you would like.